There we go. All right. Hello, South Texas. I hope your day is going well. We are starting off today with a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity out there. Some much-needed rainfall occurring. There you see it, right moving into Bexar County at the moment. That's going to continue through the area as we head throughout this morning. Some very heavy rainfall, much needed, of course. We've been needing the heavy rain, and we are happy to see it now that it is finally arrived to our area. You do notice, though, it is causing impacts. There's I-35 north at Loop 410. You saw a vehicle that had spun out there. Officers on the scene. If you'll notice right below me, that's our rotating traffic camera. Not all parts of the city dealing with rain, but you did see that some areas are dealing with some messy road conditions. We're going to be talking about this rain during the Facebook Live today, as well as those two tropical systems that are out there threatening the Gulf and may threaten the Texas coastline here as we head into next week. So I'm pulling up Facebook here, guys, so I can answer some of your questions. Go ahead and send them my way. I would be happy to answer them for you. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for my Facebook to load up right here, though. So let's take a look at where some of this rain is at the moment. Let's first of all start off with some of our tower cams. Northwest San Antonio looking towards downtown. You can see that heavy rain really starting to move into parts of the region. You can see it out from the airport. Some very dark clouds. Not any rain at the airport right now, it would appear, though. Calaveras Lake showing that rain there to the right of your screen. Some of those heavy showers trying to push their way into parts of San Antonio. So another shot of the rain here. Here's where we have it. Gonzales, Seguin, New Braunfels, seeing it move into northern Kendall County. Blanco County has seen a lot of rainfall here already. Let's look at the 24-hour rainfall totals, and you can see that kind of closer on towards Johnson City and down towards Blanco itself. More than 2.5 inches over the last 24 hours. Much of that has fallen just within the last few hours. Looking further on off to the east, that's going to be showing 1.4 inches, moving down towards Caldwell County, 1.5 inches. We're going to see Hayes County at 1.2 inches. That's near Buda and Kyle. Actually, that's going to kind of be closer towards San Marcos, rather. See 1.2 inches, and then seeing 1.3 as you get closer towards the Hayes and Comal County line. Again, I'm still pulling up Facebook, so just give it a second, guys. But already in parts of Bexar County, they've seen near 1 inch of rainfall already, and that rain is still falling very hard. Again, much needed, so we like to see it. Much of the drought in the region has been pretty bad recently, with moderate drought conditions. It's nice to see some relief. Now, nothing severe with these storms, but some of them could bring some gusty winds. We could also be dealing with a little bit of very heavy rainfall, of course, with this. This could lead to some localized flooding. I don't expect widespread flooding, but street flooding in areas that typically see higher water during heavy rain events, that could be an issue today. Floresville is about to pick up some rainfall. I know that they've been wanting some rain, so glad to see it heading in their direction. Nixon seeing the heavy rain, Yoakum seeing heavy rain, as well as Gonzales. Again, areas in eastern parts of San Antonio, really east of 281, they're seeing the rain, but when you get further to the west, on the west side of town, they're missing out on it. You'll see that on the loop, too, that some people are just missing out on some of that rainfall. All right, guys, I finally got Facebook up here. Again, sometimes it takes a little long. Our building, for some reason, not necessarily issues with the internet, but issues kind of loading Facebook sometimes. So heavy rain still up towards Kendall County. This is going to be kind of falling apart as it pushes south. Right now in Fredericksburg, a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rainfall, some loud thunder there to go along with it. And I'm just going to have to hop off the internet because it's just not connecting, guys. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second because I'm not seeing anyone's questions. All right, here we are. Someone said, whoever washed their vehicle, thank you, because it helped the rain to occur. Yeah, big shout out to whoever did that to kind of encourage the rain a little bit more. It's pouring in Hallettsville. Love the rain. Love to see some rain soon on the south side. Yes, rain is headed towards the south side of town. Depends on where you are. Now, here's the good news. This stuff up towards Kendall County, I think that's going to give a little bit more Bexar County that's missing out on the rain right now a better chance. Thousand Oaks got a good pour. Got lightning hit the house in front of them, Anna says. That's not good. I hope that everyone is okay. Rain for a while now in New Braunfels. Love the thunder. Yeah, New Braunfels has gotten the bulk of the rainfall, and I think Seguin has even seen more than New Braunfels. That's where a lot of the heavy rain really passed through. Still heavy rain falling in both spots. A lot of hard rain this morning. Bulverde, Canyon Lake. We got rain last time. It's our turn to the east. West got rain last time. It's their turn to the east, Bernie says. Bernie, that's right. You know, the western side of town got rain just last week. But downtown and on the east side of Bexar County, they missed out on it completely. So much needed rain moving through. And I see a lot of people asking, will Marco bring the rain? And the Shavano Park area, are they going to see rain? Yes, Ryan. Shavano, I think you are going to get some rain here from this area further to the north. So this is drifting to the south. It's going to take a while to get there. But don't worry, you're going to get a little bit of rain too. Julie says she lives near the Kents 5 studios. Will they get some rain? I think we will. Again, the rain that's in northern Kendall County is coming south. Even though that system is falling apart a little bit, I think we're going to see some rain from that. Shelly says, is it going to hit Glen Burnie, Maryland? You know, Shelly, I don't think that it's going to come too close to you, either of those hurricanes or tropical storms. But we'll talk more about that in a second, the tropical storms at least. My parents are right up there towards Glen Burnie. They're in Pasadena right now, Maryland. Huge fan of Ann's up there in Glen Burnie. If you've never heard of Ann's, it's this place where you can get these hot dogs and great milkshakes and stuff. Really popular up there, well known. Yeah, great place up there in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Come on, rain, just drizzling, Gina says. Are any rain going to hit Hollywood Park area? There was a little bit of rain for parts of Hollywood Park earlier on today. Notice if I run the timeline back a little bit, there it is. A little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity, but maybe not everybody in Hollywood Park saw rain. People asking about rain in SeaWorld, and then guys, honestly, much of us are going to see rain today. Have about a 60 to 70% chance for rain, and that's going to be for anybody pretty much east of this line. So if you're east of this, you have a better chance for rain. The further east you are, the better chance you got. The closer you are to the line, the lower chance. And if you're west of it, I think you're still going to have a chance for rain, but your chances are very low. We do have some more shower and thunderstorm activity off to our north, and I'm going to show that too, guys. Just give me 1 second here. James says, what about Lackland Air Base? We're having a birthday party. James, we may see rain here this morning. As we head into the afternoon, the rain chances go down. So I hope the birthday party is this afternoon because that's when our rain chances are going to back off a little bit. Now notice off to our north, seeing a little bit more shower and thunderstorm activity. All of this is pushing to the south. That's why I said the hill country could see a little bit. But that shower and thunderstorm activity off to the north is going to be falling apart as it moves south. I see a question about Bexar County. Parts of Bexar County already seeing heavy rain. I think we're going to see some more from this shower and thunderstorm activity in North Kendall County as well. So there's a 7-day forecast. You see a lot of rain chances in there. And we have all those rain chances thanks to two tropical systems that are going to be heading our way. Now, first of all, I want to get through what we have now. So let's talk about this first. I wasn't really trying to show the 7-day just yet. We're going to come back to that in a second. By the time we get to 4:30 p.m., I still think we see a little bit of rainfall out there, but you see the amount of rain really goes down. I do think future clouds and radar is backed off on the rain chances a little too much. I still think we're going to see more rain at that time. I still think we're going to see it tonight. Just about a 20 to 30% chance, though, by the time we head into this afternoon and tonight. So not as much as what we see now, but don't be surprised if you hear a few rumbles of thunder and see a little bit of rain. By the time we get to 7 a.m. tomorrow, about a 20% chance for rain, and we're going to continue with a slight chance for rain as we head into the afternoon. Notice by 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, still a couple showers out there, but not as much rain for Sunday as what we have today. So let's talk a little bit about rainfall totals over the next 7 days. We could see a ton of it east of I-35. I'm talking 1 inch to 3 inches of rainfall, but we could see maybe less than 1 inch for areas west of I-35. Here's the catch. This is likely going to change a lot over the next couple of days, the forecast for the next 7 days, because it all depends on what our two tropical systems are going to do. Right now, first off, we're going to focus on Marco. Marco and Laura are both out there in the Atlantic, and both are going to be threatening the Texas coastline. First off, Tropical Storm Marco, expected to cross its way through the northeast tip of the Yucatan Peninsula as we hit throughout today and tomorrow. Once it gets into the Gulf and it has less impact from land, we're going to be able to get a better idea on where this storm is going to go and what it's going to do. Right now, though, this cone of uncertainty, I want you to look at the area it covers. I want you to look at how big this area is. Port Mansfield to near Morgan City, Louisiana. It could make landfall anywhere within that 402 miles. Now, that's just as the crow flies. Of course, the Texas coastline, if we added it all up and kind of took it all together, it would be even bigger of an area where it could hit. But it just lets you know this storm could hit in a lot of different places. Now, if this system does take more of a path like this to the south, that's going to mean more rain for us here in San Antonio. If it comes directly at us, we'll still see a lot. And if it goes off to our north, that's less rain for San Antonio. So there's a few different setups here. If it does go down the center of the track, we aren't going to see tropical storm conditions here in San Antonio. We're going to see a remnant low move over, which means it will be breezy a little bit, but we're not going to have any serious issues. The biggest things that we're going to see from Marco here in South Texas, away from the coast, going to be heavy rainfall. That's going to be the big thing. So we're going to watch this move across the region, and you notice it's going to slow down. By Wednesday morning, this system makes landfall either on the Texas coastline or the Louisiana coastline. By Thursday morning, it has only moved, let's see how many miles, about 100 miles inland. So it's going to slow down a lot, and with that, a lot of that tropical moisture is going to rain hard, and we're going to see possibly even more rainfall than forecasted if this does especially go south of San Antonio. So still a lot in the air with Marco, but notice Wednesday morning could be landfall. And now let's talk about Laura. This is our second system, forecast to be a tropical storm as it comes into the Gulf, but a lot could happen here. The Greater Antilles have major impacts on these systems, especially right here, Hispaniola. That's a big question mark on what this does to the storm. Hispaniola is historically known as an island that just tears apart tropical systems. And the reason why is it has huge mountains on it. These low-level systems can't handle mountainous terrain very well. It kind of rips them apart like a sheet of paper. So as Laura goes over Hispaniola, it's going to encounter a lot of trouble. Now, if Laura can kind of hang out on the southern tip of Hispaniola and cross, it will likely do this. It will likely come across and then go north right here and then track west. Storms are known to do that because of mountainous terrain within the eastern tip of Cuba, mountainous terrain over Hispaniola. We can often see systems split that little area right there. So we'll watch it track across Cuba and Hispaniola after it crosses Puerto Rico, where it is right now, dumping rainfall. And then once it's in the Gulf, it's looking like it could steer closer on towards Louisiana and Texas. Now, the Mississippi coastline could be impacted by this too, as well as Alabama. If this system does track on the western edge right here, excuse me, I clicked the wrong tool. On the western edge, we could see some rainfall from Laura too, but that's still up in the air. If it makes landfall on the Texas coast, it would be a Category 1 hurricane with 85-mile-per-hour sustained winds, and that would be on Thursday. So that would be our second storm. Now you'll notice that it says Thursday, 65-mile-per-hour winds, not as a tropical storm. But I'm telling you, if this does take the very western edge of the track, it would be a hurricane at landfall, and that would be near Galveston. If it takes the eastern edge, then it would be a Category 1 hurricane at landfall and weaken quickly by the time we got to Thursday morning. But both of these storms are something that we've got to watch real closely because, again, both of them could have an impact on the Texas coastline. And they could even have an impact right here in South Texas. So 2 systems we're watching pretty closely here. Again, and this is Tropical Storm Laura. We have Marco and Laura out there. The next name is, I believe it's pronounced Nana. It's N-A-N-A, and I believe it's Nana, but don't quote me on that. I'm going to have to look up the pronunciation. Some of these storms have more difficult pronunciations. So what's the steering behind these systems? Why do we think they're going to do what we think they're going to do? There's this area of high pressure that's located right over the western part of the Atlantic and near the Bahamas. Now, this little dot right here, that's going to be Marco. That's Marco on Sunday. Watch what happens as we head throughout the next week. This high pressure is going to shift west. As long as this high pressure system shifts west, we're going to see these systems also shift to the west. Now, if this area of high pressure does move off to the west enough, we're going to see Laura take a more western path. That is actually Laura right there on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Now watch the timeline here. Now Marco, you're not seeing it here, but Marco's going to be up here on Tuesday. Watch the timeline here. Moving into Wednesday, and then into Thursday. That is actually Laura. So we actually do have weather models that show at least one weather model that's showing Laura and Marco could both make landfall in Texas. So something that we'll want to watch. Again, we need the rain, but we don't want to get too much, and it's going to be something that we have to watch closely. Of course, here's a look at when the peak of hurricane season is. September 10th. We're getting closer to it, so it's not too much of a surprise that we have an increased amount of tropical activity out there. Now, of course, Laura and Marco, it's time to mark them off. The end name would be our next named storm, Nana or Nana. I have to look at the pronunciation on that one. But that is our next system possible for development is actually all the way across the Atlantic near Africa. And that can't be too much of a concern right now. Don't need a lot of focus on that just yet. But we'll, of course, watch it closely and give you updates when it is time. Now, the next 8 to 14 days beyond the 7-day forecast, so this next week looks wet, but day 8 through day 14 looks like abnormally dry conditions will move back into our region, which would be more common as these systems track to the north, pulling down a little bit more dry air in our direction, and then warmer than average too. Are as possible for day 8 through day 14. Of course, that does not include the 7-day forecast. The next 7 days do still appear to be fairly wet, including for today. So I want to bump it back to the radar. That's where we're seeing a lot of the rain. Brandon wants to know, will Marco increase to more than just a tropical storm? Brandon, right now the forecast calls for it to just be a tropical storm, but a strong tropical storm, maybe 65 mile per hour sustained winds. So what we need to be ready for is in case this storm does intensify to a hurricane, if it does intensify, it could become a Category 1 hurricane, maybe a weak one. Not too much of a concern with Marco, I'm thinking. But if Laura does hang on that western side of the track, it could be a Cat 1 to maybe even Cat 2 hurricane at landfall near Galveston. And that's if it hugs the western side of the track. Again, there's still a lot of uncertainty with both of these storms. Whenever we're talking about land impacting them, it causes for a lot of uncertainty because land has a really big impact on tropical systems. Whether it's lower land, like along the Yucatan Peninsula, or mountainous terrain, like what they have in Hispaniola. Both areas can have a lot of impact on these storms, and we're going to know even more about what these storms could do after we get to Sunday and the end of the weekend, especially with Laura. Once we get to Monday, we'll know more about Laura. Marco, we're going to have a better understanding on what that system can do in just about 12 to 24 hours after it's already passed the Yucatan. So you learn a lot about what a system has the potential to do once it passes over all this land. Of course, the Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunters, the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, as well as NOAA Corps, both both of these groups fly these storms. The Air Force Reserves fly WC-130Js into the storms, and the NOAA Corps flies WP-3D Orions. I believe I said that correct. Orions into the storm. Both are large aircraft. They gather data. They're flying low. They gather the data, and it lets us know the health of the storm. Helps us create more of a precise forecast. They're gathering all that information so we can have a better idea on what the storms could do. And then also NOAA Corps also flies a G4, Gulfstream 4, into the top of the storm to gather more data of the health aloft and steering patterns. And I would hope that the Gulfstream 4 from NOAA Corps takes flight today to give us a better idea on the health and the steering of the upper atmosphere later on today for LoRa. So I would imagine that they may fly that either today or tomorrow so we can better have an idea of the steering for this. So let's see here. See if there's any more questions. Daniel says, how do they know there's going to be that many hurricanes? It's all based off historical data and comparison, Daniel, and also patterns within the atmosphere. We look at the Enzo pattern, which tells us El Nino, La Nina patterns, and it all lets us know, hey, typically when we're set up like this, we get more tropical activity. When we're set up like this, we get less. The warmth of the water, the amount of shear in the atmosphere. Daniel, it's all, we always add up this kind of information to get a better idea what could happen throughout the year. See people saying, let it rain, let it rain. Yeah, I mean, I agree, guys. We need the rain. I see someone saying Nana is the correct way to pronounce it. Thank you so much. No rain yet over by West Dam. It just washed I just washed a load of clothes. I hope that the rain can miss you long enough for the clothes to dry. Enjoyed the rain we got in Stone Oak, hoping for more. Elaine, I think you are going to see more rain in Stone Oak. Don't worry. Give it, honestly, I'd give it about 15 to 20 minutes, and you're about to see more rain in Stone Oak. So again, really heavy rainfall moving to the south. Karnes County now getting in on it. Cuero getting in on it. All of it much needed. I know some farmers out there are probably wondering, man, I can't wait for this to hit my land because I'm sure the crops are needing some rain. Of course, you can always add more water, but you can't take water away. I used to work in northeast Arkansas and a lot of rice farming up there and cotton and soybeans. And one of the biggest issues was whenever we got too much rain, you'd get too much rain on your soybeans, the soybeans would rot, and you'd lose your crop. So you can always add more water, but you can't take water away. So I hope you don't get too much water out there east of San Antonio for some of those crops. But I hope you get enough to kind of bring it to life a little bit and not have to run or not have to pump water up as much. So people saying any hail. I'm not seeing any hail within these storms. Let's go ahead and actually check these storms in Kendall County because they actually have a little bit more energy to them. Maybe some pea-sized hail or smaller. Right there, very small. That's likely not making it to the surface though. So the radar is picking up on that hail higher up in the atmosphere, and I guarantee you, as that falls, it is melting because it is warm and humid. So that hail probably not even making it to the surface in Kendall County, but we don't have the threat for large hail. Something more likely would be gusty winds, possibly up to 60 miles per hour. That would be severe, but right now we're not seeing that. The winds are not severe at the moment, but maybe up to 40 mile per hour winds. I mean, that's pretty gusty. We could have that in some of these storms, and that's something that we will want to look out for. So again, heavy rain, a lot of lightning in some spots, much needed. I want to pop up the tower cams again. Let's take a look to see downtown. Looks like we have some rain not too far away from it. That's from northwest San Antonio looking towards downtown. You can see a little bit of rain here and there. You can see it off in the distance. You see right there. Guys, that's the edge of some rain. That's second line, rather. That's actually the edge of rain passing through the area. Right there, you can barely pick up on it. Heavy rain right there, though. Much needed and happy to see it. I know a lot of people are happy to see it on radar. So, guys, I'm actually going to just kind of let the radar loop here so everybody can watch it. I'm going to be watching things here behind the scenes, and I'll hop back on here whenever we need an update. But I'll hop on here again probably in about 30 to 45 minutes if needed. But I'll just let the radar loop so everybody can kind of keep an eye on things. And I'll hop back on here, of course, if anything becomes strong or severe, if we have any issues with flooding. You'll see me pop back up here and give some more updates. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope it rains at your house for those who want the rain. And we'll keep you updated right here at Kent's 5, of course, not just on this rain, but on all the tropical systems. If another update comes out from the tropical systems, of course, that I think needs to be sent out, I'll be sure that I hop back on here and give updates on that as well. So, guys, I'll leave the radar on so y'all can watch this. I hope y'all have a wonderful Saturday across the region. All right, y'all, since a good chunk of San Antonio is now starting to see some rainfall, I figured I'd hop back on and give another update on what we're seeing. If you were watching earlier, you heard me talk about how we had that next round that was in northern Kendall County headed down towards the south. Well, it has now arrived. There's where it was, northern Kendall, and it kind of dipped its way down to the south real fast. Now that area has impacted areas west of I-35, just as expected. That shower and thunderstorm activities continuing to pass through the area, dropping really heavy rainfall. People on the west side of town who wanted more rain on their yards, you're finally getting some of that rain. And a lot of that falling downtown. And downtown's a spot that's missed out on a lot of the rain events that we've had the past few weeks. So I'm pulling up Facebook again here on my phone. Going to get answer some of y'all's questions that you may have. If you have any to toss my way. I see some people saying still here. Laura saying, anybody have an update by Gardner State Park? There's no rain at Gardner yet. Laura, they are going to have some rain out at Gardner, though, later on today. Taking a look out into that direction, notice just off to the north of Gardner State Park, seeing showers push to the south. Now, those are withering away. Not as much rain as what San Antonio is seeing right now. I don't think Gardner State Park sees as much. But a few brief showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two, will be possible. I think you could still get away with a nice day at Gardner State Park, despite that little bit of rain, though, here and there. Just have a way to get under cover if it does start to rain a little bit. So really heavy rain passing through. Again, much needed. Let's look at how much rain we've had here over the last 24 hours. Some spots have seen a lot. Others haven't seen any rain. Parts of the hill country, southern Edwards Plateau hasn't seen too much. Check out Burnett County. And just north of there, Lampasas County. Man, they've seen a ton of rain up their way, 4.3 inches, all from this same system. This is just the last 24 hours. Let's take a look right down towards central Blanco County, 2.5 inches. Let's look at parts of Bexar County, 1.6 there. Northeast Bexar County, central Comal County, 1.5 inches. And this still hasn't picked up on some of the rain that's already fallen in parts of western and central Bexar County. Again, that's going to be a lot of rainfall to add to it as well. Megan wants to know, is there rain at Six Flags? The answer is yes, and I'll show that. So they've got rain all the way through the northwest portion of Bexar County. Let me let this load up here real quick. There you see it. Six Flags would be located right. One second, I chose the wrong tool. There. And there's where you see rain is falling at Six Flags. We're going to continue to see rain here. Probably, Megan, for the next, let me take a good look at this. You know, we could see it for the next about hour to hour and a half. Possibly, here's where it gets tricky. You notice this line that's further off to the north, dipping to the south. Let me put that in a loop. If that does go over northern Bexar County, it looks like it may pass it to the west, but if that does go over northern Bexar County, we could be talking about a good amount of rainfall there. So hopefully it misses it. I'll bring that up full so you can see it a little bit better. But hopefully that misses just on off towards the west, so it doesn't impact Six Flags too much for those who may be trying to head out to the park today. But right now, everything very wet out there towards Six Flags. They're dealing with a good amount of rainfall, as much of San Antonio is. Much needed rainfall at that. A lot of people really happy to see that on their yards. Guys, I'm glad we could finally get some into you. Take a look at northwest San Antonio. Heavy rain falling there. Taking a look out towards the San Antonio airport. Having heavy rain at the airport at the moment. In Calaveras Lake, everywhere you look, heavy rain. Much needed again. So I wanted to give another update on the rain. There's where we have it, heading down towards Goliad County. Karnes City seeing a bit of rain now. Seeing it down towards Cuero. All areas that really needed the rain. I'm sure everyone's pretty happy to see it. We have had a lot of drought conditions, poor drought conditions recently. But I also want to give an update on what we just had come in with the tropics. A new update now on Marco. They found that Marco has missed the Yucatan Peninsula just to the east. With that, it means the system should have the ability to strengthen a little more. Now expected forecast to become a Category 1 hurricane, and it looks like it may brush up against the Louisiana coastline. Oh, I think I just lost connection to my computer. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, it's coming back. Maybe. Maybe. Come on, computer. Looks like it's trying to come back at least. Well, let's see here. Well, I can at least see it on the screen here. There we go. See the Category 1 hurricane strength possibly all the way up to near Grand Isle, Louisiana, and then it would brush along the coastline and then move into Central and South Texas after going through East Texas. Now, we could still have tropical storm wind strength when it approaches parts of South Texas, it looks like now. Again, still expected to do that turn Wednesday morning. It would be when it approaches our region, and then it would push inland and kind of stall out a little bit. That means we'll get a little bit of rain here. Not for everybody. I think when you get closer to Del Rio, you'll have lower amounts that are caused by Marco. But I think Tropical Storm Marco will bring us some a little bit of wind, not a lot, just 40-mile-per-hour winds there, and a little bit of rain as well, especially for areas east of I-35. So that's the latest on Marco. Right now has 65-mile-per-hour sustained winds, brushing up against the Louisiana coastline as either a Category 1 hurricane or a tropical storm. Now here's the latest on Laura. The track has changed a little bit too. Remember earlier, we said it was going to be anywhere between Alabama, really Orange Beach, Alabama, all the way over to Galveston. And now looks like the Mississippi-Alabama state line right at Pascagoula, Mississippi. Anywhere from there, all the way over towards areas maybe just southwest of Galveston as you get kind of closer towards Matagorda. I believe Matagorda is kind of right there, or at least Surfside Beach. So maybe a little bit northeast of Matagorda itself. But maybe as a Category 1 hurricane, making landfall anywhere in that region, possibly as early as Wednesday morning to Wednesday afternoon. And here's the thing. That's going to be close to when Marco is making landfall. So these systems are going to impact with each other, and it's going to be kind of tricky for the forecast. I see a good question there. How much rain is San Antonio going to get? I'm not sure if you're meaning from the system or maybe just today. I think we could get an additional half of an inch to an inch on top of what we've already seen across parts of town for today, that is. This is what we could see from Marco. Anywhere from an inch to 3 inches of rainfall for areas east of I-35, and then areas west of I-35, less than an inch. Some spots seeing a quarter of an inch or less when you get further west of Uvalde and closer to Del Rio, which is bad because that's the spot that really needs the rainfall. But it looks like they won't see as much as some other spots. So I want to bump it back up to the radar again. Right now, first of all, actually, let's look at the 7-day forecast. Right now, you're going to notice that there's not the highest amount of rainfall chances for Tuesday through Thursday and then into Friday. That may change the coming days. Once the forecast gets a little bit more nailed down with what Marco and Laura will do, you'll likely see those rain chances go up a little bit more. So right now they're sitting at about a 40% chance. You may see those bumped up to maybe a 60 to even 70% chance over, the next few days. We're going to watch that really closely. Of course, we have the 60 to 70% chance for rain today, of course, because not everybody's going to see rain. You see areas of the hill country not seeing any rain right now. The lower Edwards Plateau, not seeing any rain. Not seeing any rain in the Rio Grande Plains. That's why we have not a 100% chance for rain today, but for San Antonio right now it is a 100% chance for rain because we're all seeing it. Parts of the south side still missing out, but don't worry, it's coming. You're going to see it. Again, really heavy rainfall moving through, and you know it if you live in an area where it's already raining. We're right here in the medical center area, and we've got heavy rain outside the station at the moment. But again, not everybody in South Texas will be so lucky to see rainfall. I wish we could get everyone in on it, but there are going to be spots that miss out on it today. I see raining at Lackland. Yeah, Lackland likely just now catching up on some of that rainfall. You're going to get a good amount of rain there, maybe a half of an inch from this shower activity that's passing through, 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch. And it's much welcome. Nothing severe with this. This is the kind of rain we like. You know, if we can get showers and storms without severe weather, that's what we like. And that's what we got today. Just a little bit of rumble and thunder, some heavy rainfall here and there, a little bit of lightning. That's what you got to look out for. And maybe up to 40-mile-per-hour winds in some of these. But again, nothing severe from these. Not seeing any big hail risks. Just going to be regular old rainfall. So you already see that the rain's stopped falling for our friends in Austin. Still some, though, along the Colorado River, stretching up towards Lampasas, Llano, San Saba, Burnett counties. That rainfall, though, it does look like it's starting to calm down as well. You also see some rain closer to our friends in San Angelo. It's kind of falling apart as it dips south, too. But I think northern Edwards County may pick up a little bit of rain here and there, as well as northern Kerr and Real counties. That's all going to help out the aquifer, too. So it's going to be nice to see that. Monica asked, maybe a dumb question, but can the hurricanes combine and become a super hurricane? Monica, that's a great question. Not a dumb question at all. I've actually had that question a lot. So we have, whenever tropical systems interact, it's the Fuji War Effect. As they get closer, I want you to think of it like this. If we have a weaker system and a stronger system, sometimes the stronger system will kind of take over the weaker system and they'll merge a little bit, but it wouldn't necessarily make it a stronger hurricane. It would just kind of cause them to form into one system. If you have two hurricanes, though, two developed systems, I want you to think of them like a top. They'll kind of bump into each other. Not necessarily bouncing off of each other, but if they interact with each other too much, it's going to cause them to wobble and have issues. So they'll actually kind of, I'm trying to figure out the right word here, hurt each other instead of help each other. Now, they can morph into one hurricane, but they would not be able to get their act together in time with the Gulf to become a stronger hurricane by the time they made landfall. They'd actually hurt each other more, to be honest. So I hope that answers your question, but Monica, not a dumb question at all. I've had that question a lot, and it's a great question to ask. And, I think that this is a really unique time to have two systems so close together. There's still a lot of uncertainties with what systems do when they interact with each other. And I think this is going to be, we're going to learn a lot from Marco and Laura. They're going to probably have a lot of research into both of these systems and how they interacted. And going to be interesting to see how they interact with each other, how they may push each other in different directions. Just hope that, knock on wood, that nothing bad happens from the systems. We, of course, don't want any damage for our coastlines. We like the rainfall that they can bring sometimes. Remember, though, sometimes you can get too much rain, like in the Harvey incident. I don't expect these to be anything like Harvey, but I want to make sure I hammer that home. Not expecting that. But, we do like a little bit of rainfall here and there that we can catch, especially here in South Texas where we're so dry at the moment. And we just hope that there's no damage to our coastline and our neighbors towards the coast, and, of course, for us here at home. So, cool. I just want to make sure I made sure y'all understood that. Dennis says, I've never seen anything like two hurricanes at once so close to each other. Yeah, Dennis, it's possible. It has happened before in the Pacific, but not in the Atlantic. This is actually, if we get two hurricanes in the Gulf at once, it will be the first time in recorded history that we ever had two hurricanes in the Gulf at once. Now, two tropical systems in the Gulf at once, that's happened, but two hurricanes never happened. So we'll have to see if it happens. I see another question there about have we ever had two hurricanes before? As I just said, of course, y'all are on Facebook, and you may be hearing my answers a little bit later, so I understand that. But yes, we've never had two hurricanes in the Gulf at once. Two hurricanes at once in different places, yes. But in the Gulf at once, no. Not in recorded history, at least. Which dates back to, like 1889, I think, 1890. We have never had that happen in recorded history. So, guys, still a lot of rain out there. Again, it's really starting to fizzle out, though, a little bit. You notice the back end here of the rain. You see it used to be a lot more, but really starting to back off further on towards Hays County and Travis County. We're going to continue to watch this rainfall move through. I hope you can get a good amount of rain on your yard. Of course, not too much. Drive safely out there. We've had a few accidents already. That's why I have the looping traffic cam here, so y'all can see where the roadways are a little bit more messy. Take it easy out there. It's a lot of water ponding on the roads. Want to make sure everyone gets to where they need to be this Saturday safely. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off again. I'm going to let the radar loop. Of course, we're not going to stop the Facebook Live. That way y'all can continue to see where the rain is. And I'll hop back on here if need be. If I see that the storms have picked up intensity, or I see a new update with the tropical systems, you'll see me hop on here again. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more so everybody can see where they live, because we have a lot of friends and family out towards the southern Edwards Plateau and into the Rio Grande Plains who want to see where the rain is compared to them as well. And then, of course, our friends in the coastal plains, Cuero, Victoria, stretching on down to Karnes County. I want to make sure they know where everything is, too. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this zoomed out, guys. Again, I hope you get rain where you are. Stay safe out there. Drive safely if you're headed out on the roadways. And we'll keep you updated on everything right here at KENS 5.